Hello, creatives and color fanatics, animal lovers, all of you. I welcome you to the third video in my Color Courage series, where I help build your confidence and give you the guidance you need to go all out in color, even for the beginner. Today's model is Muffy, the adorable Shih Tzu. I painted this commission on a 6x6, so without further ado, let's get started. All right, lovely people. Today I'm going to show you how I abstract black and white fur while still keeping a level of realism in there too. So like we talked about in the last two videos, I prefer to start with the darkest fur first. So I'm starting with the black fur. I begin with a dark gray around the eyes, especially because that's where I want to make the focal point. And then as I'm moving my brush in this curving motion, I pull in purple into that gray, where we're getting a little bit more light hitting that fur. Why I'm doing that is because Shih Tzus have these beautiful, long, volumized, curly fur, and I really want to make sure I get that fur direction in that first layer, especially with long or medium length fur. Now, aside from that little bit of dark fur on the arm, I jump straight into the white fur. I begin with more realistic colors. I'm using a medium gray. But did you notice I added a bit of pink first around that nose? That's so important. Those details matter even in this first layer. Wherever you see the fur is very thin, you might have some skin exposed, and very likely you're going to get some pinks, maybe some light browns or some grays. I apply that first, usually around the eyes, nose, and mouth, and then I move to the fur around it. Now here I got a little hasty. I added those slightly lighter values of light gray before finishing the medium grays. I'm not going to recommend that. I recommend you apply your grays below it and then start slowly building up by adding a little bit more white to those medium grays. And do you notice here that medium gray first layer is very flat, but this next layer I'm adding just a little bit more white to. I'm using more of those curving lines to start creating that curly fur texture. Hey creative, sorry to interrupt, but if you're looking for something really fun and relaxing to do this summer, getting into some creative projects, even as a beginner, I encourage you to check out the Pet Portrait Masterclass. Even if you're new to acrylics or getting back into it, here's where I give my color methods, my acrylic painting techniques, my drawing methods for painting these abstract, colorful, but also realistic pet portraits. And not just cats and dogs, but a wide variety of different pets. Masterclass student Desiree said, "I cannot thank you enough for what your class has given me. Your encouraging words, the way you make the beautiful art attainable, the variety, the common nature of you and your class in such a crazy world. Your class has become a safe space for me." So for more information and to also check out my live paintings in this masterclass, be sure to check out the link down below. Let's get back to it. Now here was the new challenge for me. I had to add black fur around that nose over top the white fur, and it was a struggle getting the values just right so that that darker fur looked like black fur and not like damp or wet fur like you often see around the muzzles of these kind of dogs, where the fur is like in their mouth, it's getting wet, and it looks darker. And the added tricky part was trying to get the strands just perfect because they're flowing outward in all different directions. Now, by the way, I changed this background, I think 4 times. I couldn't land on the best color background for this very colorful puppy, especially because of what she's wearing, this cute little pink outfit. But my thoughts were here, why don't I get to the point where I'm adding the color accents, just beginning to do that, and then I can choose my background. So that's what I did. I blended in purple, okay? Purple in with some magenta, in with some turquoise and sky blue, added little hints of that on the black fur. Now, because my light source is coming from just directly above, I wanted to make sure that the top left and right of those ears, the top of the snout, was getting those vibrant little abstract colors. Now, to not lose those purples and to pull them out more, I added hints of yellow to her white fur, where I used the grays. So I mixed in a bit of yellow ochre with the light grays that I was adding to her curly white fur. So I'm off to a great start with those abstract colors. Now it's time to go in with my background and my foreground too. So I chose the similar background that I've been applying to a lot of my dog portraits. I did one for a black German Shepherd commission, a white German Shepherd commission with this sunset background, with the yellows blending into the oranges and into the blues. Now I actually blended some of that blue with turquoise so I wouldn't add too much blue. I'm trying to create color harmony where one color complements the other and there's not other colors competing with one another. So then I pulled out the blues in this beautiful blanket. And so then I can add those lines that cut in over top my foreground and background, and then I can even draw out more of those vibrant hints of color, the turquoise, the magenta, the sky blue, adding less purple in them and a little bit more white so they stand out even brighter. Notice I'm not adding a ton of these lines, I'm adding some here and there, just lines that are really fine, really clean, and even to the white fur I added more yellows. Now it's just yellow ochre and lots of white for those top layers. Alright creatives, so I hope you got a lot from this tutorial. That was how I painted this sweetest little Shih Tzu named Muffy. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments down below. Have a blessed day. I'll see you in the next tutorial. Bye!